About it, but understand this as well. It's okay to ask why or seek answers. Notice back in your text in John 16, verse 19. Can we turn those fans on, please? Now, Jesus knew that they were, and what's this phrase, desirous to ask him. Now, in other words, now how many of y'all have ever heard it? Don't ever question God now. That's one of them Southern religion cliche, anti-biblical things. If you don't ask, how you going to know? Here's the disciples and Jesus, they didn't get the nerve up to ask. He just, because he knows your thoughts. That's scary. He knew they wanted to ask, but they wouldn't ask. And so he's like, let me go and answer your question. They'd be like, oh man, nobody said what it was. Clear your mind, clear your mind, clear your mind. Y'all don't get that. Somebody got it, okay, right? He knows my thoughts. Maybe Monday at lunch it'll hit you. It did not make him mad that they asked questions. It did not make him mad that they didn't understand. And there's nothing wrong with seeking answers. You're in the middle of a situation right now that's upside down on its head. There's nothing wrong with you saying, Lord, why? What happened? What's going on? That's what they're asking, or in their minds, not verbally. But when he found out that that was the question, notice in verse 19 or the last part of it, he sets in to answer the questions that they have. Understand this, though they could not quite wrap their mind around it, they ask a question, right? And he sets in verses 23 and 24 to answer that. He said, in that day ye shall ask me nothing. What's this? Verily, verily, I say unto you, whatsoever you shall ask the Father in my name, he will give it to you. In other words, if you're asking, God says, when the time is right, I'll answer that. Now, I'm not gonna make it like you'll go to your grave and have answers to everything as to the why, because you and I know that's not true. But I just know this, as I said earlier, I can trust that I'm in the right hands whenever he is in control. And even for the stuff I don't get answers to, I just got to believe that God's got my best interest at heart. But when you're in a season of sadness like they are, listen to me now, and you're going through agony, and you're wondering, and you're searching for what in the world is going on here, there is nothing wrong with saying, Lord, why? Why is this? What does all this mean? But can I say this right here? When you're asking God questions, be prepared for the fact that sometimes answers can be painful. Not always, but sometimes. It's okay to get an answer that's painful if we turn pain into progress. Let me give you an example of that. Let's just say as an individual, I'll just use me because it's not a great illustration, but let's just say right now that I as a human being, as a person, as a Christian, let's just say that I struggled with relationships. Let's just say that I could not have a friendship that lasted over 6 months. I was always starting over, always having to buy new bracelets and necklaces and new BFFs, new little hearts together. You know, all that stuff people do these days, you know. New besties. I mean, always having to get a new bestie, right? I just struggled real bad with a relationship. Everything's surface level. Well, eventually I gotta come to the conclusion, you know, it probably can't always be everybody else. It got to be maybe something about me, right? Now, if I ask God, like, God, why in the world can I not have a relationship with any longevity? I got to be willing to ask hard questions and get answers that may be a little painful to hear. Like, for example, question number one, if I couldn't have any relationships that had any longevity, is this: am I putting any effort forth? Because, you know, the Bible teaches that he that hath friends, what? You know, sometimes, you ever heard people lament, I ain't got no friends. Well, you kind of told on yourself. Right? That's really just saying, I don't try. How else you read it in the Bible? Now we live near them, what do they call them, helicopter parents? You know, and then you'll have a kid that don't try and ain't got no friends, and then they'll lament to other people, my kid ain't got no friends. Right. You know? Everybody, ain't my kid's friends is bad. What's your kid doing? Have him go talk to somebody. Right? I mean, if I'm an adult and I'm sitting here going, I ain't got no friends. We just shook hands, shake somebody's hand. Introduce yourself. You know, pick up the phone. Start a conversation. Amen. If you ain't going to put no effort in it, don't cry about not having no friends. That'd be my fault. It'd be painful, you know, but truth hurts, but it help you. So number one, hey, if I ain't got any friends, I mean, am I putting in effort? That's the first question. Am I putting any effort? Then the second question I ask myself would be this. Do I bring any value? The Bible teaches this, iron sharpens iron. The purpose of my relationships with other Christians is to sharpen me. So maybe the reason if I'm talking about me, not y'all, me. If nobody wanted to be my friend, maybe I couldn't, maybe because they knew if he was my friend, I wouldn't sharpen them.